We're waiting for our guests to arrive. So hopefully the guests will arrive soon. If not, the show must go on, and I got you.
Abundance is all around me. Why does money come to me so easily? Why are abundance opportunities always show up for me? Why I am finding money everywhere I go, and everything in my life brings me wealth, health, and beautiful love. Now vibrant through and having wealth of money. Frequency. Money, money, money is my vibration. Money, money, money is my vibration. Money, money, money is my vibration. With a salsa beat, with our R&B sound, feeling that rhythm all around. Abundance is all around me. Why does money come to me so easily? Why are abundance opportunities always show up for me? Why I am finding money everywhere I go, and everything in my life brings me wealth, health, and beautiful love.
I got you, sis. Okay, everybody. Let me make sure it don't come back and play, because it will do that. So without further ado, I am Dr. D, and I know we are going to rock this about there. So I know I just had my sister Tammy on the other side. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Everybody's showing up. Everything is showing up in like double form or something. What the hey is going on?
So the first link that you sent, I was sitting in the room waiting on you, and I was like, "Okay, I'm sitting here because look, I shoveled some food down because I was hungry. I was almost hangry. I had to run to between when I talked to you last. I had to run to the store and go get me some grits because I wanted grits.
Oh wow!
I had to say, well, we got rice. You want some rice? I don't want no rice. I want grits. And I don't know if you know, but grits is not easy to find here. And you can't even buy a big one. You got to buy one of them little Quaker ones and a little thing like that, or those little bags of the $10 ones because it's organic or some shit.
I know it's like that.
I said, I need some grits. Yeah. So I had to go get me some grits. I had to cook me some grits, and I already shoveled it down. So I'm good. I was almost
Okay.
hangry because
Hey,
I be doing that fasting.
right. I got you. I got you. See, let's see. Y'all can see my little fireplace in the background, and so my little
Look,
afro.
look, you see mine?
Yep. Yours look. I like your color. See, I'm gonna get bold like that one day, and do it.
That's a background.
Oh,
I'll
oh,
be okay.
no. Okay, this is a real background. I went this,
It's like
that's
yours is
real.
beautiful. I like that too.
Yeah. So I like that. So tonight I am Dr. D, and this is the platform Dreams to Reality Ranch Farm. That's very important. I gotta fix that because it's a Dream to Reality Ranch, and it's supposed to be Dream to Reality Ranch Farm.
I
And
see
tonight,
farm.
huh?
I see farm.
Oh, okay.
I see
Uh,
Dreams to Reality Ranch Farm.
let's see, where's it at? Did it do that? My brand?
It's hiding from you.
Probably. Hey, it's brand.
Girl, I'm loving the fro.
Thank you. You know,
You have some of the white in your hair like I do, but mine is like a patch in the top.
it's right here. Like it's only one spot. It's like I'm trying to get it to come all over so I
Yeah,
can run out. Look, one little spot. I look like Cruella Deville.
yeah,
Remember her? I don't like
yeah. Look, that's the same as me. That's why when I can't even really cover it because in the top it's a round circle and it's nothing but gray. For the rest of it, I just went on and bleached it because I was like, all right, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna do some purple.
okay.
But
Oh, I
I
like
would like
that.
for it all to come because I wanted white, but I was just too scared to let it go up that much
I got you.
because I didn't want to be picking up my hair off the floor. So
See,
that
but
much.
I like color. Like my hair was pink, blue, and purple when I was in Guam, and always had blue. So blue is always going to be my color. So if y'all notice, blue is my color. I
I like variety, but I'm gonna do purple. That's what I'm gonna do next.
I love purple.
Because I've never had purple. I had like a violet one time, like I had a hairdresser mix it up and make me this pretty violet, and it was real pretty. But
See,
yeah, I was like, I haven't had purple. I had this pretty red that I really liked. But that
okay,
thing bled so bad.
yeah, they
Girl,
do.
I was laying in the bed. We were traveling. So we laying in the bed. I was in the pillow. I told my husband, I said, these people don't even clean no more.
Oh, stop. Okay, so okay, we're gonna get down to real business today. This is Tammy, and I'm gonna let her introduce herself and who she
Oh,
is.
Lord, Jesus have mercy.
Come on, give it up, give it up, give it
People
up.
in bios, girl, hello, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here. Because this is just a fabulous time with Dr. D. It's such a awesome. So for me, I call myself a soul awakening person, a soul midwife for awakened women. Because what I like to do is help women, especially in midlife, stand up in themselves so that they can understand who they are, and also to help them to move forward and release some of the patterns and the blocks that they have, because that really is what it is. The more women that I even speak to, they just so blocked up. They don't, they want to move, they want to do things, they want to manifest, they want to do all this stuff, but they're so blocked up. And typically it's the patterns. That's what I've uncovered, is the patterns that we have that are running, in the background, in our subconscious, just underneath the bottom. And a lot of the stuff that that you push down, because that's what we do. We push it down, or we kick it out, or we, don't deal with it, and then it comes back to, bite you. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's where I come in. And I use, the strong intuitive ability that I have to, look at what's going on with you in your situations and help you to find something that's going to move for you. And typically, what I notice is that when people do courses and stuff like that, and they put these things out, um, they have a pattern of overgiving and overdoing. Because
Sure.
when you consider and you think about that, all of the people that you work with typically are you. So, do you like to do 150 pages? No. No. So, no. So, and the thing is, we all have done stuff where we put things out there and people have picked them up and they sit in their inboxes because they look at them and they be like, oh my God, it's like you vomited on them.
I know she did.
You know,
Oh,
you be like 12,000 pages. You be like, and then it was something for $7 or something. You know what I mean? It's like, no, child, I can't. No, I had stuff sometimes that I went back and looked at that I ordered from I don't know how long ago, but it came back up in my email. Like I'm trying to clean my email out, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, looked at it. I'm like, Lord Jesus, no wonder I didn't do this. And then some of them have this, it'd be the same stuff like every 3 or 4 pages, just
right.
to make it be a lot. So I deal with women with that because that is also related to people pleasing. You be out here just people pleasing and then wondering why, you feel drained all the time.
Right.
So those are things that I like to do to work with women. I also do crafts. Like I consider myself a scientist. So I love to create things. I've created this amazing body soap that I use. And I also created some other things with plant medicine. I make jewelry, which all of which I have on is I made. But I love just, expressing myself creatively.
That makes sense. See, she did an excellent job. When you say, guys, when you say, did she do an excellent job? So let's
She
give her a
did.
hand. Okay. Da-da, da-da. This like now. This is what we're gonna talk about. Menopause.
Yes, Lord. Somebody actually just gave me another product supplement that
Hmm.
she said it worked. She said she was doing estrogen patches, and she said it works better than that. I was like, whoo, what's the name of it?
See,
No.
see now the thing is that my body, I'm not one of those women that have gone through menopause. Or I was talking to somebody, I think it was Liz. Me and Liz was talking about going through menopause, and I was like, we need to do a show. All right, Liz, I forgive you, and you know I love you, but I'm gonna talk about you on this
She had a
show,
rough
just so
day.
you know.
She had a rough day.
Oh, I know. That's what I say.
I
I already know. Don't even get me
thought about it
started.
too. I was like, oh, she probably, oh, I know. Because even if you don't work physically and it's mentally draining, is worse to me.
Yeah, but
And it's like, oh.
yeah, I get you. No, me and my girl was talking, and we were talking about menopause.
Yeah.
And my doctor was saying that I was not in menopause. And I was like, well, I should be. I'm in my 50s. So I should be
Um,
like, now listen, this is my,
I'm
no,
telling you, I was in my 50s and I told the doctor the same thing. And they did the blood work and all that. And he said, no, I wasn't.
right.
I told him
He's
that,
like,
but later, just give it time if you just want it.
he said, your ACG levels, they were talking, I said, ACG levels. He's like, yeah, you're not menopausal. I was like, what's that got to do? And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, you're talking about my pregnancies.
The pregnancy hormone.
Oh, okay. So that's how you tell. He said, yeah, the follicles. And I was like, okay.
Yep.
So I was like, well, can I be in premenopausal? Am I postmenopausal? You like, I'm thinking all
Perimenopause.
like he was like, no, you're not in menopause. And I was like, okay.
So just
Well,
accept it.
so I was like, look, I said, well, so I got excited, you guys, because maybe you do the same thing. I got excited. My cycle stopped for like 1 month.
Ooh,
And then 2 days later,
it was bad.
I said, oh, I don't have my cycle. So I'm in menopause now. I got all excited.
uh,
Mary said, hello. I like you. I come back. I was like, and of course, I got on all white because now when you don't have your cycle, you can get to wear white. You don't have to
right.
worry about that. And yes, I had on all white, not just some white, all
Um,
white. So when I
um,
sat down, I was like, ooh, I thought I made a little tinkle on myself. No, it was not a little
oh,
tinkle. When I went to the bathroom, that's when I learned my cycle was on. I was like, I'll be a whoo, this is not supposed to be
yeah.
happening to me. So you're not aware. At least that's what I was saying. Don't be laughing at me. I was like, this ain't supposed to be happening to me. I'm in menopause. So, they were like, well, you'll know you got hot flashes. And no, I don't get no hot flashes. They were like, you have your own personal summer. I don't have no personal summers. I was
So,
like,
so,
my
so
body
accept it.
so hey, I thought I did, but I was like, okay, that means if I'm in menopause, okay, that means I can get my freak on. Just for you guys that don't know that, I don't have to worry about no babies or all of this stuff. This is what I'm thinking. But my girlfriend say, okay, now let's talk about going to menopause. You can also have dryness. I was like, you gonna stop playing? I was like, what? She said, vaginal dryness. She said
Ooh,
you can catch yeast infections more easily. I was like, I
ooh.
know you didn't. She said, oh, and you think your hormones are out of check. She said, well, let me tell you, you can get acne. I was like, what am I, a teenager? What the heck is going on?
Okay, so there was something that happened to me. My hip popped out,
Your who?
my pelvis. So they said that that was one of the things that was associated with menopause as well. I didn't know about that. I wear one of those braces sometimes, to keep that thing in because of course it starts my back to hurt and all the other, things. But yeah, your kitty cat be treacherous. Sometimes it don't want to cooperate. Sometimes it's super dry. Sometimes you feel this thing and it be itchy and you think it's yeast or BB or any of that kind of stuff and it ain't none of that. And Callie Berry said that she went in. Did you hear her story? She went in and she said that she thought they told her she had herpes. And she said, I just found the love of my life finally after all these years. And I ain't got no. She said, so we had a talk and stuff. She's like, do you have herpes? Because I didn't have it before you, and this and that. She said, and come to find out, it wasn't that. It was menopause. And I understand that, and I can attest to that as well, because there are times when you don't really want to be touched at all. You
Okay.
don't want to be touched, and you wish, you could, yeah, people would just leave you alone.
Okay.
No,
So
because you feel like that, and your kitty cat sometimes it just don't want to cooperate.
okay.
Nobody
So
told nobody talked about that before. Nobody told me how the hell I didn't know.
yeah. Now, my mom, Mama Oracle, we were talking about it, and Mama Oracle is like, she says sometimes you can be even what can happen during menopausal stage, you can become a little incontinent.
Yes, you
And I
can.
was like, what? She was like,
Yeah.
that's all part of menopause. She said, isn't it great to be a woman? I was like, Mom, don't even talk to me. I was like, so these are things I'm looking forward to. Not that I want them to happen, but to give me a signal that my body is saying, you're in menopause. This is what it is. And
So go ahead.
people that know me, I've always wanted, like I said, I wanted to birth 8 kids. That was my goal. And
Jesus,
I know
Jesus.
most. Now, I was pregnant 6 times, but because I was put on methotrexate for my arthritis for years, I had 6 miscarriages.
Lord have mercy. Did
And
you
no
say
one,
eight?
huh?
Did
Eight.
you say eight?
I wanted 8 kids. I wanted to try because
You
my
had like
goal,
that show?
What tribe?
8 is enough.
Oh, I was gonna say, you need to stop. I didn't even think about it like no. I was thinking because I wanted my children to be. I had like dreams, girl. My dreams, like my kids were going to speak different languages. Which my son he spoke Spanish was his first language, not English. Okay, and we had a hard time.
I know
But
you did.
so because he had to adjust to like English speaking people in
Yeah.
school, and it was very hard adjustment. And the fact that look at him go, he's speaking what? And they didn't understand. So they made me speak only English at the house, and he had to get like, and he had a hard time interpreting. But if you read it to him in English, the test scores, his scores would be off the chart. But if he had to read it, he had a hard time. It wasn't until we got to the third grade in Arizona that a lady gave him dragon speak, that it taught him his English and he became a lot better. I didn't think it
Well, that
made a
makes sense
difference.
though, because I mean
I
Arizona has a very
yeah.
large Mexican population, so that
And
makes sense.
so he fit in. You know, his ESL. He was in the English second language class. But my son, like, they were shocked. Like, here's this boy. He's like doing ninth grade work and math and stuff like that. But his English was not what they expected. So that I accomplished that, and my one child spoke another language, so I accomplished that. My daughter, she decided she didn't want Spanish, she was going to speak French. So of course you got to be on the opposite. You can't speak the same language to each other. She, but she spoke English better
That
than
would
my
that
son.
would I was gonna say that would make too much sense.
But my goal was to have this tribe of children that spoke different languages and did different things from different countries.
Oh, I
That
know
was
what it
my
was.
goal.
It was Josephine Baker that inspired you.
No, she didn't have kids. She adopted kids. No, I
Yeah,
wanted to
but she
have
had
the
a whole
kids.
bunch of them. That
She
was
didn't give
different.
birth to them. She adopted them.
Yeah,
Them sons.
but I mean, it don't really matter how you get them. I mean, to me,
Yeah.
it's better not to have them. I mean, I have I have a child I didn't birth, and I thank the good Lord every day that I didn't have to birth no more to get him.
No, but for me, I didn't mind being pregnant. I
See,
enjoyed
to
the
me, the pregnancy part was wonderful. It was
right.
the deliveries.
Oh, I didn't feel anything. Remember, I told you I
Oh,
have a high threshold of pain. That's why my mother my
well, that's not
biological
right.
mother and everybody can attest to that. I've given birth twice and did not scream, no holler, no nothing, and just pushed out, and that was it. So
Yeah, I didn't do any
what?
of that either, but I didn't push out either. So, you know.
Oh, well, see, mine was
Yeah.
for me an easy birth, but then as we're learning, uh, some of us have a real high threshold of pain, and I happen to be unfortunate one of those
I was gonna
individuals.
say, and some of us don't,
Right.
but
And
you know,
mine,
they think we all do.
bingo, that one.
But that's the thing. It's like you can, I mean, and that even doesn't even break down with race or culture. That's just people, you know.
Bingo.
And but they think that we all have that same, you know, because I didn't do any of that either. But I labored for 25 and 27 hours with those kids,
Whoo!
and then they cut them out. I only dilated to 5.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The
Okay,
pregnancy
yeah,
was
I can
fine.
get
It
it.
was
I
just
get it.
delivered. Like I when I had my, I told you when I had my last one, the doctor was like, you need to wait at least 2 years before you have another one. If you have another one, because you know, you are at risk. He said, if you get pregnant within 2 years, he said, I'm gonna personally terminate it because it'll kill you, the baby, or both of y'all. He
Wow.
told me, he said, you not, he said, I know your mother had 4 kids. I know your grandmother had 10, but you're not born to birth babies like that.
Okay. That makes sense.
So,
That
you
makes
know, because I actually told my ex, I said, if you had acted like you had some sense, I'd have had you a few more babies. You know, but he just, you know, I did. I told him that. I said, I'd have had a few more. I said, because, you know, we made them cute. I said, and they came out all right. And wasn't nobody, you know, in a way that I couldn't tolerate. Because, you know, I had told God what I wanted.
Okay.
But
That
we didn't
makes
talk about that. We talked about menopause.
okay. Yeah, but sometimes it goes because it helps. Um, psychologically, the things is that a lot of people are not prepared what their body go through.
Nope.
And then when you're going through menopause, some women feel like, well, now I'm old and I'm not a woman anymore. You're a
Yeah.
woman all day long. And these are some of the things that I got to sit down and talk with my mama Oracle. She was the one that talked to me about some of these things, about when you go through the change. And she said your body changes. Not
Yes.
only that, your whole body, the way from your breasts to your hips to your
Your
hands,
whole, to
the
your arms, to your
the-
legs, everything. Because I have always been pretty tight because I always worked out or some type of something. I always did something. If it was working out or working like a nut. But I always,
right,
always was pretty tight, like my legs and my arms, everything. And I've always, lift weights and I've been cut. But girl, when menopause started really coming in there, my legs looked like cottage cheese. I had hanging shit in my arm. I was like, what the hell is this?
right. See?
When I started doing my research, that's what I discovered. I was like, what the world? So, one thing I've learned is that make sure that you drink your water because people don't put enough emphasis on drinking their water.
Okay, not only water, but it needs to be alkaline and really H3O. That's more
Mm-hmm.
important because you can drink a lot of water and your body will still be thirsty. But
Really?
if we accumulate and put more H3O, if you can drink coconut water, I know this is going to sound cheesy and crazy, but maybe even juicing some watermelon, uh,
I do that.
cantaloupe, honeydew, some of those, just even juicing them or even blending them up, that has the balance. And coconut water has the electric lights. That's the natural electric lights that they used to use back in the 40s, in Guam and Hawaii for when people needed blood and stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
So I found that out. So it's almost like carrot juice. Carrot juice has the same characteristics
I
of
love it. I actually just got some carrots at the store when I went to get my grits. Because that was my purpose. I said, oh, it's time for us to juice some carrots. So I got some more, and we already had some celery and ginger
right.
and all that. Yeah.
So these are the things that I'm learning, like eating grapes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, these are things that makes the body healthy. Also, when we going through this, you lose a lot of omega fatty acids. You
Yes,
lose
I
a lot of
do.
DHEA,
Mm-hmm.
DHEA, which is
Mm-hmm.
very important. We lose a lot of vitamin A and vitamin E as we get older. Our skin change. People don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about your skin changing. I used to watch the commercial back in the day. I mean, when I was a kid, about women talking about crepe skin. I said, what the heck is crepe skin? I don't mean to be funny, and this might sound that certain people get crepe skin,
They
but
do.
I haven't seen it
Not
on
not
people that look
many.
like me.
I've not seen many of us that get that.
That's what I'm
Usually, the
saying.
ones that get it are the ones that have more of the other in them.
Right. I get it.
Like the mixed chicks and different things. You'll
Right.
see that with some of them, but not even all of them even.
Right. It
But
all
yeah,
depends.
I have witnessed the crepe skin, yes, but I can't, I can't really identify with that.
But and also,
But we do have skin changes though. That
bingo.
is a fact, and I can tell you that from personal experience. Not even nothing I heard. I just know, and then and then there's the brain fog because that thing is real.
That
It's
one.
no
That
joke.
one.
It's no
So
joke. It's like, oh, we walk in the room and go to get something, and then you don't even know what you went to get. You
thank
know,
you.
I just come
And
back out and then go back in.
then
But
sometimes,
but let's talk about the importance also of understanding these changes, and then also speaking to our body,
thank you.
using our words, and shifting it in the quantum, because that's something that a lot of people don't talk about, but we need to,
Right.
because I don't know, people, I guess people don't believe, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
You can shift all these things, and to me, once you know, you can't unknow. And then once you know, what did GI Joe say? Knowing is half the battle.
Hello.
So once you know, you can't unknow. And then the other thing is, once you know, then you can head it off. You can say, okay, I love you. You can start making love to your body. Touching it in different spots and stuff like that, and telling it, telling your cells that it is enough. And, there are so many things that you can do. And that to me is the most important thing, because, you know, we can look at it all day long and we can see what it looks like and all that, but people need to know that they are in control of it. It's not just a random thing. It's not just boom, it's dropped on. It's almost like, when people get a reading. They get
Mhm.
a reading, you tell them what it is at that moment. Doesn't mean that that's dropped in science, that I mean, or dropped in stone, and
Right.
it can't change and all this kind of stuff. Like I used to tell people about those aura readings. I said I love them and I think they're awesome, but it's just reading you at that moment.
Right.
Your aura can be 50,000 colors in a day.
Bingo.
I
But
said
they
so.
are really, because we're not,
Right.
if we look at it, we're, even though we're here, there, and the past all at the same time.
Yes.
We are our past, our present, and our future at the same time. That's another thing that we don't realize. And we have that capability, and we have so many different of that, being 50 or trillion different paths that can be done at the same moment, at the same time, with those variations at the same time.
And that's why
Just
you
putting
can
it
shift.
out there.
That's, that's why you can shift timelines like that. In a day, you can be in 50 timelines in a day.
Yep.
It's up to you, but you got to understand that you can, or you got to believe that you can.
That one. See,
You know.
no, 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 no. It's not believing. I learned
Okay.
something today from my mama. Is about knowing, because you can
Okay.
believe a lot of things, but
Got
when
that.
you know, you know. And
No.
my mama taught me that today on the show. You guys, it was real educational today.
That's a
'Cause
good thing.
yeah, I did
I
a show earlier with my mom. Uh,
will have
it
to go
was
back and watch it.
what is it, Gil's? It was she's my mom is known as the Oracle. I call her Mama Oracle. I call her Mom, but yeah, well, maybe she let you call her Mama Oracle, but she my mom, not my biological mom, but she's my mom. Like I told everybody,
Hey.
my mom has sang for me. She's come all the way from Hollywood to Arizona when I was in Arizona and did stuff. My mom support me when I was in Hollywood. My mom went on the show with me, and right along, I was like, well, if I go on the show, my mom's gonna go on the show. So I got my mom a spot. My mom was like, my baby. And I was like, Mom, I was like, can you do a show with me? And she was like, yes. So I was like, okay, I got you. So she's that special. She's starred, I was telling people she starred in Hollywood. Um, she's in Gil Scott Heron's
Mm.
Bluesology play in LA. And it's
Ooh,
in
I,
June.
I loved him.
Right. So she's a two-time Billboard spoken word person. So she was telling me they're gonna walk the red carpet
Ah,
right after
nice.
that. So I was like, well, you gotta send me pictures. So stuff like that. So I had a song on here, just right, and she has a song, "You Are the One," and that's the only one she would play at my events. You are the one. You are the one, and that would get me motivated and pumped up. That wherever I was when I was cooking, that's the kind of motivation we need. And my
Yeah.
mom does not mind passing the baton on and the information. Some of us don't have that. That's why I decided to do this show, and I plan to do more about endometriosis. People don't know about PCOS, a lot of stuff in fibroids. But that's a continued series we're going to do. But this one about menopause and the changes we go through that we don't even recognize that we can go through. There are let me see, certain tones, certain beats that you can do to change that as well. And there's certain treatments that you can do. One,
Yes.
I'm going to say, which I do offer, ionic foot baths. It pulls stuff out of your body, poisons, and it gives a reading. And that's what I'm going to say. If you got yeast buildup, if your joints are hurting, if this, what else? Heavy metals. If you have any different things that malfunction, it pulls it to the surface and it tells in the water. Some people say it don't work. I believe it do. I'm proof it does. because I had 36 x-rays, and that was one of the things that I did in one day. Okay, that was the one thing. Yeah, that one. Um, so I know it's unbelievable, but there was a certain.
Really? It's like, what?
Yep, I tell
I'm
people
still
that
processing it.
radiation is real poison, you guys. Just if you don't know. So
Mhm.
that was one. Another one is a simple bath that most people can do for their body, just not only to relax, is get some Epsom salt, some baking soda, some borax, and some good old fashioned eucalyptus, and soak your feet or soak your whole body. See, I take it a step further and I put some charcoal in there, active charcoal. So when I'm saying I'm going to neutralize, I am going to neutralize the heck out of there. So those are different things that I can offer. Some things also while you're going through menopause is I didn't say steam, yoni, smoked yoni treatment. That's different. It's with different woods, it's different treatment, it opens you up, it heals the whole, does treatment. Now, what I'm saying is a suggestion. I'm not a medical licensed doctor. I gotta say this. These are some
For
suggestions that I had.
entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only. So when you do those things from that, I do that. And I also do the yoni steams. I make the yoni steam herbal bath if you want to do that, and I can get you that and you could do it at home. Or if you want to come here, we do that. So then we got the biofeedback. I have the biofeedback. You get biofeedback training. It's like all the things that I do basically will help you through menopause. Maybe that's why I'm not exhibiting any signs or anything. But then you have the
That's
motivation
amazing.
intentional. But you also have Rife. Rife, because you're going through that, anybody knows about Rife treatment. Rife treatment does that as well. So you don't necessarily have to be in Florida. For the yoni steam and the smoke steam, you have to be here for the eye and the foot back. You have to do that. I can't do that. Like it's not like Reiki, but the bio and all of that are just like Reiki that can be offered. But it does help balance the body. Again, this is just a suggestion. If you want to do the research, I'll be more than happy to provide that information with you. I have to keep saying because I had a young man on my show that was talking about gays and it went all kind of sideways and my son was like, okay, mom, that's not you. You gotta, I was like, and he was trying to make me laugh when he was saying something because I didn't know how to respond. Right,
And
because
there's
that's the
enough
only
hate
way
in the
we're gonna
world.
grow.
Yeah.
That's the only way we go. Now, another thing that is B12 is women of going through menopause. They really need B12 is very important.
Yes.
D3 and K2 are very important.
Yes.
These are things. So even so much as
Magnesium.
say it again,
Magnesium. Magnesium.
magnesium. Yep,
Glycinate.
glycinate.
Not magnesium ox, not that.
Yep, that one.
Hmm.
So what
Magnesium
else?
glycinate, yes.
What else is the other one I was
I was
saying?
going to say, and suggest to take the magnesium and the D3 and the K2 at
Uh,
night. Oh, and
okay.
zinc. Zinc is another one.
There you go. And what I was thinking is primrose. primrose, and if you could add alfalfa to your diet. Alfalfa because you know if you set up boundaries, you're gonna get some haters out there.
Of course, you're
Let's
going to
put it
get
out there.
haters. The thing is to me, when I was able to set up boundaries was when I understood that I would have some haters and I didn't give a fuck about it.
All right
So,
now.
but I had to get to that place. It's not an easy place to get to for a person like me. You know what I mean? Like I was a supreme people pleaser and didn't even know. You know what I mean? And it's been, what I've done, and I didn't even realize until I started studying, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is no. But for me, I was like, nah. So now I'm like, I'm boundary straight up. I mean, like, I had somebody reach out to me and said, oh, well, can I come over? No, no, no. I'm either, and at the time, I didn't even say I was busy. I just said,